Hello everybody. Right, I thought I'd do a quick video on just my camera collection and the computers I use. So let's cut to have a look. Right, so these are my 5 main cameras. I do have some other ones, sorry about the dust. So first of all, we have the Sony ZV-E10, which is quite a versatile little 4K camera, mainly for videos, but you can do photos on it if you want to. I don't know if it's got any power in it. It does. Absolutely marvellous. So that is the it's just got its kit lens, which is not a bad little lens. It's great for doing sort of vlogs and stuff. There's no problems with it at all. There we go. It's all gone back away. And then we've got my sort of long distance, it's got a bit of dust on it, hasn't been used for a while, my long distance super zoom camera, which is the Sony RX10 Mark IV. There are rumours that they're going to be bringing another one of these out, but I really don't think they will do. This probably hasn't got any power in it, has it? It has. So there we go. There's that one. It's a really cool camera to use. Really cool camera. A lot of people like it for video, but myself, I think it's lacking quite a bit. So that is the Sony RX10 Mark IV. And then we go on to my more photography based stuff. All of these actually have manual lenses on, which manual vintage lenses, which I do have a lot of Fuji autofocus lenses, but I do like the vintage lenses. They are pretty awesome. So it's a Fujifilm X-T30, and this is it. Let's just pull that eye cap back out. This probably doesn't have any power in it. It's probably, oh, it does. Hey, oh, it's not a bad battery power left on that one. So that's absolutely fantastic for taking photos. You've got film simulations, and it does do 4K, but there's no stabilization in this bad boy, so you would need a gimbal or it to be on a tripod. But other than that, it does do cracking 4K video. And then we will go on to my next Fujifilm camera, which does have a manual lens on again. I'm not sure which one that is, doesn't really matter. And this is a Fujifilm X-H1. There he is. Let's see if this has power, because I haven't used this one for a long time. No, I know it hasn't, because the this bit isn't lit up, which means it's absolutely drained of power, because that stays on all the time. It's a really cool camera for photos, and it's a hybrid camera, and it is very good at your 4K video. It does have stabilization. It has built-in sensors, so it moves. And it's a fantastic camera. It really is a great camera for stills and video. 4K, and you've got DCI in that as well. I'm not sure if that does DCI. I know that definitely does at 4K. And now we go to my main camera, which I am using now all of the time, which is my Fujifilm. Again, it has a manual lens on. This is a Helios, whatever you like to call it, manual lens, Russian lens, and it is a X-H2. It's not the S, because I mainly do photography, but this does 8K at 30 frames a second. It also does DCI. I don't think it does DCI in 8K, but it does it in 4K, and it also does downsampled from 8K to 4K, so you get a more sort of a more crisp image in DCI as well as just normal 4K, which I believe the Sony does do downsampling from 6.4 or 6.2K. That's why that's got a cracking image. That doesn't. This does downsampling. I don't think the X-H1 does, but this is an absolute beast. 40 megapixels. I think that's 24, that's 26, that's 26, and I believe that's 26. Can't remember, but pixels don't make everything, especially if you're using doing video. You sort of need less, and you need the pixels to be a bit bigger, really. So these are all, well, crop sensor, crop, and a 1-inch sensor, I believe. I have had full frame, and yes, there are places for it, but do you need it all the time? Not really. The only thing is, when you want a bigger sort of reach with full frame, you end up with a whacking great big heavy lens. Now with crop sensors, the lenses are generally smaller, even though these are all off of 35mm film cameras. They would work on a full frame sensor, so it's personal choice really. I do get the idea of the depth of field with a full frame camera. I have just got rid of a Sony full frame A7S, which never ever got used, so it was just an absolute waste, which is this one really is as well, and maybe this one. This very rarely gets used, but it was my first Fujifilm camera and it's pretty damn awesome. Right, and so we'll go on to the computer. So we've got an ultra wide, I think it's a 34-inch ultra wide, which is connected to a Mac Mini M4, and also you have to mind my cable management. Also an older Mac Mini, which you can't really see down there, because I use that for the photo program I use, which is called Aperture, which isn't available anymore. If you had it originally, you can still download it off your Apple account. So that is what I use. That's what I like to use for my video editing, and it works on this screen, and it's also plugged in to this screen up here. My other one is home security, and I've got my Timesgate, I think it's called, I can't remember. But that is basically it. We can have a look at my my mouse mats. We've got two mices on there, and also we have a little keyboard thing, something that I added obviously because of the wood's a different color. Couldn't find anything the same color as what I've got, and these have got big mouse pads on anyway, so, and that's the remote control for the monitor. So this is the keyboard, the older version of the keyboard, and that is the newer version. I've got an Apple mouse, but I don't use it because it's not very comfortable. This is one of them, yeah, right, which I really like. I've got another one over here because they're simple to use. They're just plugged in with a USB dongle thing, and you just stick a battery in, that one charges, and they're really good. The keyboards, I do like the Mac keyboards because of the layout. You do sort of need that really, and you can do split screen of having both of the computers on at the same time. A line comes down here and you have one screen for one and one for the other, which is really cool. And then if I'm doing video editing, I can see it up there as well, so it all works really well. Well, that is my setup and my cameras. Obviously there's my mic down there, but I very rarely use that. So and I've got loads of these hubs plugged into my Mac Mini just to give me extra ports and extra drives, because I've got a lot of SSDs plugged into the Mac Mini, because it's a base model and it's not got much SSD space. So this opens it up, and I've probably got about 3 terabytes, I think, in total, maybe a bit more, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, you know what to do. Thanks for watching.